Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jen checking in. How you living? How you feel? What's popping to keep it real? Keep it trill. It's Monday night, you guys. Yes, and you know what that means, okay? We are live here tonight, okay? On Second Chance 21013 page, okay? This broadcast goes out to different platforms. Thank you so much for those that have tuned in, that's tuning in, that's going to tune in, okay? We got to thank people in advance, okay? Speaking of which, the guest that I got tonight, you guys, I'm so happy and so excited. Which just speaks to this. So what I try to do is go a little bit more natural. Okay, y'all will see why when I bring it up, right? Something that I listened to by this special guest. I've been listening to now going on 4 years. I guess about 3 or 4 years. And so I want to introduce to y'all someone different than what y'all used to, right? He's amazing. On my days that I've just got to pull myself up, he's definitely been helpful. So I want to introduce to you all none other than Mr. Bob Baker. Okay, let me get him on.
Hey there. Hi, Jen.
Hey.
Real talk with Jen. I'm so excited to connect here with
Yes,
you.
Mr. Bob Baker Inspiration. Okay, come on, Bob Baker Inspiration and Jinlo Inspires. Okay,
Well,
how you doing?
I'm doing great. You know what? Well, actually, I just feed off of your energy. I'm getting inspired just being in your virtual video presence here.
I'll tell you. So, Mr. Baker, first of all, I just want to say my gratitude for you agreeing to come on to the show to have you here tonight. Because I want to, for those of my platform that may not know you, introducing them to something different, something that's definitely been helpful to me. I'm telling you, you have no idea. I've been listening to you. I think I came across you maybe like 2019,
Yeah.
and so I've been listening since, So I just want them to tell everybody, one, where are you from? I was looking, I was trying to find your location. I was like, I don't know if they live there or they just visit. So where are you located?
So I'm born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, on the Mississippi River. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I've been here. I've lived here my entire life. I've traveled, but never lived anywhere else. Surprisingly, but
Oh
yeah, it's so great. So I know you and I connected during for a 30-day program that I did last spring, and you shared with me. Yeah, I was so thrilled that you had benefited from my recordings. You want me to let them know about my YouTube channel and how we actually connected, or uh,
yes. So well, I like to get a little. So what we do is a little bit of heart to heart connection, because
okay,
there's people that's gonna hear what you do, and it's somebody out there that's probably like, you know what? But I come from a little bitty town, or people don't know about this, or I don't think they, what I'm saying. So I like to get the heart to heart connection. Just
sure,
a little bit about you. So you from St. Louis, okay?
yeah,
The STL, okay, okay, okay. Just
STL.
give us a little bit of background, like maybe a little bit about your education, or if you got some siblings, different things like that.
Yeah, so born and raised in St. Louis. I was raised by a single mom. I was her only child, and I it's kind of surprisingly, once you know what I've actually done in my life, I was very like a shy, socially awkward kid. I lacked confidence, and it was kind of like very quiet. I stuttered a lot when I was a kid, and but I had this inside of me. There was this aching, I guess, or this desire to pursue the arts. And so I've done a lot of things in the arts and creativity over the years. The two big ones is one, I'm a musician, so I've been playing the guitar, singing, playing in bands, writing songs since since before high school. And then the written word is always something that has been something that I've immersed myself in, even outside of schoolwork. And I published a local music newspaper here in St. Louis for 10 years. I've published
Wow.
16 books
Wow.
over the years, and so yeah. So, but I've also done art, theater, and stand-up comedy, and improv comedy, and visual art. So I very much
Oh,
have been attracted to the arts. Um,
wow.
and the way I and this and so when I was a kid, though, I was like the least likely person to be on stage and be an extrovert, but I think there was something within me that was calling me to do that. And one of the ways that I overcame that shyness was personal development work, which I've been doing off and on since I was in my teens, really, and I've just reading books on positive thinking and doing affirmations and meditation and journaling and goal setting and visual, so that's the way I sort of lifted myself out of
So
that shy
let me
kid.
slide in. Let me slide in because I need look. Look. We got a lot in common. First of all, okay. So I want y'all to hear this. Okay, this is not a lot. One thing I always like to get to people is what you see today is not something that happened overnight. What y'all are hearing is he planted a lot of seeds and
Oh
they
yeah,
grew and it grew and it grew and it grew, right?
absolutely.
So he's a creative one. All right. So this is all this show is about my creators and my innovators who when you may think you're the one counted out or someone different, you create the opportunity. You create the seat at the table, which is what y'all are hearing, right?
Right.
So music, did y'all hear that man say 16 books?
Yeah.
Okay, 10 years at the paper, right? So writing, journaling, right? How important. So you basically wrote your story, wrote your life that you wanted. Is that what you're saying? Like when you say you
Yeah.
journal?
Well, yeah, yeah. So journaling is like a practice that you do in the morning. If you've ever read the book The Artist Way, Julia Cameron writes about morning pages. That's like journaling. It's getting your thoughts down on paper. But yeah, I don't know if it's because I was an only child, but I had this like independent streak of not waiting for people to save me, not waiting for permission from somebody. Like, yeah, so I like what you're saying about I pursued a life where I created the circumstances that I was looking for, instead of waiting for someone else to come along and create them for me. And again, I don't know where that came from. Out of this shy kid that could barely talk to people, but luckily I found that path to be my true expression of who I am. Yeah.
Wow. It taking me back to when I was young and came across writing poetry and then writing letters to God. And you basically I had to write myself out of my little hole too, you know? So I
Yeah.
definitely get it. I journal myself, so I get it. So how you got to where you are today. So about that YouTube, right? YouTube is how I found you. I came across you. But actually, as I started my personal development journey, my overall, but part of my health journey is how I came across you because I was looking for it, right? And I say I wish I had came across whatever what personal development and self love and care and all that stuff was a lot younger. But I'm glad I came across them when I did. And so you were the people that I came across, and so actually the one that I listen to is The Morning I Am. It's got right now 2.2 million
Oh
views.
yeah.
It came out 4 years ago. It's at the top of one of your morning lists. It's like 10 minutes and 1 second long. That's how I know which one it is. But you are at 45 million views on YouTube,
Yeah.
over 300,000 subscribers, 13,000 on Facebook. So check it. You said you don't know where it came from. Somewhere, I feel like it's always a pivotal moment in your life that something clicked over and you turned into that energy. You tapped into that other part of yourself. So, what can you think of that say, you know what? No, this I want to do this YouTube thing. I think this is what I should do. I need to share. What was? Can
Yeah.
you think of what that moment might have been?
Yeah, well, I could. I'll share one thing. If it's pitiful, and then I'll come back to YouTube in just 1 second. But I was when I was a junior in high school, I was going through like a rough week, and I was staying with a friend of, or hanging out with a friend of mine, and he knew I was kind of struggling, and he said, "This is really great for a guy to do this back when I was in high school." But he said, I know you're struggling. Okay, here's a book that I read that helped me. Maybe it'll help you too." And it was a book called "Your Erroneous Zones" by Wayne Dyer. It was one of his first books, that popular books, and he went on to publish many books. And it was the first time when I read something that said like I wasn't like a victim of my thoughts. Like I could actually control my thoughts, and these aren't just things that happen to me, but they're things that I could take control of and choose how I wanted to think about things. And that fear and insecurity were not who I am. It's just what I was feeling in that moment. And so that was like I was like a eye opening thing when I read that book, and that was like the beginning of my personal development journey, as far as like a aha moment. Um, now, so I pursued a lot of these personal development things like you did over the years, and so actually in 2016, I was going through a bit of a funk. I was self-employed, but things were shifting, and but I was struggling a little financially and kind of looking for something new, and I was actually seeking out affirmations on YouTube, and not really happy with what I was finding.
Mm.
And I've used my voice a lot over the years as a singer, as a podcaster, and so on. And I have the equipment and the knowledge of editing and stuff. And so I said, so I actually started off creating some things that for myself to listen to my own voice. And then I said, with no business plan, just like a sense of play and experimentation, I posted a few of them, a few things on YouTube just to see if anybody cared, and it wasn't like an overnight thing, but I noticed they were getting more views than my other YouTube videos that I was publishing on my books and my music and all that stuff. And slowly but surely it grew, and so I just really leaned into it and started publishing more and more of that type of stuff, and the channel went from like 4,000 subscribers 5 years ago to now 300,000. So yeah, so it came out of a personal struggle. Yeah, I guess that this was born, and I never saw it growing to this amount, but I was so thrilled that it
That's
has.
what I always ask people. I remember a few years ago, I had asked my CEO of my company, I said, "Did you know when you started it was going to be this big?" He said, "No." I said, "What happened?" He said, "The vision just kept getting bigger and bigger, right?" So your affirmations, um, one, the reason why I think I like that one is because it starts off, the very first line is, "I am authentic." How important, let me ask, in your younger life, since how you say you felt a little different, however, did you ever find yourself trying to fit in? And if so, did you find that to be a type of hindrance to becoming who you were supposed to be or felt you were supposed to be?
Yeah. So I think there is an inclination that we want to fit in, so we try to be like everyone else, and so that we're accepted by people and and validated, and people like us or whatever. But for some reason, early on, I wasn't interested in going that normal route. I was always kind of individualistic. I remember one time as a kid, I had this memory of like all the boys in the neighborhood were wearing the specific like football jersey. I think our local team was doing really really well, and my mom said, "I noticed all your friends are wearing these jerseys. Would you like me to get you one?" And I actually said, "No, because everyone else is wearing them. I don't think I want to this, So there was something in me that was like an early sign that I wasn't just gonna follow. Yeah, but I did feel that you do feel kind of awkward and weird when you're not fitting in, and it takes a while to get comfortable with that, to where instead of fighting it or feeling bad about it, you actually embrace it and celebrate it, you know. And so I was drawn to humor and creativity and music, and I I brought those things out, and so yeah, I think we all have a desire to be our authentic expressions of who we are, as opposed to a watered down version just to conform. so
Right.
and so yeah, luckily I pursued that through my how I made a living, and how I express myself creatively, and all that in all those ways. Yeah.
Would you say a lot of people, they spend so much time caring about what other people think? And it sounds like at some point you was like, no, because it's too, no, everybody else is doing it. So would you say the moment you kind of let go of caring what about fitting and other people is the moment you kind of became more into yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, definitely. And that's sometimes that comes with age. I think the older you get, the less you care about what other people think. We need community. We need to hang out with like-minded, supportive people. So there is a need to connect and hang out with people who get us. But the thing is, you don't need everyone's approval. All you need to do is connect with that small slice of the population who gets you, whether it's personally or even in a business. Like I'm not out to win everyone over, but there are just the people who value positive self-talk. And basically, yeah, if anyone's hearing this, they aren't sure what affirmations are, I mean, we should just make it clear that
Yes,
they're
please.
positive
Yeah.
statements, yeah, about, yeah, I am. It could be, I am abundant, or today I look forward to appreciate the good. You know, it's just like reminding yourself of the good. I'm ready for a new relationship with money. If you're struggling with money, it's a whole many different topics and ways that you can apply them to your life. But there's like the way the conversations that you have in your own head, because left
Mm.
to our own devices, they tend to be negative, right, and critical and judgmental of ourselves, where you want to replace those. Those voices will never go away. I always like to say you're never going to be fearless. You're never going to hear an inner. You're always going to hear some sort of an inner critic. But the work of personal development is to turn the volume down on those negative voices and crank up the volume on things that you are intentional about thinking and saying and doing. You know, so like yeah. So you have to make an effort to do that, to fill your mind with positivity, to say those affirmative things, expose yourself to books and people and music and movies that will uplift you, you know?
Well, they say we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. So just think, for some people, a lot of that is negative, even the ones you don't even know you're thinking because you just got stuff playing in the background. Old thoughts, like you wake up. They say the when you wake up. I know for me, waking up, I do my devotional. Well, first I pray, right, to switch my thoughts over to something positive. I pray, I do devotional, I read some scripture, or like this morning, I'm right now I'm reading "Confident in You" by Joyce Meyer. So I'm starting and ending my day with something, or I have a book where it's a young lady who's traveled the world. So I'm putting positive images in my mind before when I wake up and before I go to sleep, so that my thoughts prayerfully throughout the day are more positive
Yes.
than negative. And how important, because you talked about the book about journaling in the morning, which is very important. How important is it to do though, like start your have a morning routine where you start a positive, so that you set the tone for the day. I always tell people, if you just wake up and let the day take over, it's gonna take over, it's gonna take you
Right.
down. So how important is it to really set the tone for the day by having those affirmations and things in place, journaling, reading, whatever your positive things may be.
Yeah. So you pretty much hit it on on the nail on the head when you're talking about how you incorporate them into your life. So if you're only able to do this stuff one time a day, I would say the most important times in the morning, right when you get up, even before you get out of bed. If you can play something a positive, or just take a moment to be grateful for your life and think of 5 people and things that you're grateful for. Also, a simple thing like when your feet hit the floor, say, this is going to be a good day. Today is going to be amazing. You know, something's going to be amazing. I'm gonna look for all the catch people doing good things. I'm going to look for the signs of abundance in my life, and and what's working instead of what's not working. So you set the tone, because most people just jump out of bed and they start reacting to life. You know, they drag
Mm.
themselves out of bed and they get a cup of coffee, and you may have to go to work. You might have a family, but you start just reacting instead of setting that foundation and for how setting a sense, an intention and an expectation for how you want that day to unfold. So yeah, that's really powerful. If you were to also find another time of the day right before bed, like that bookend effect, you started off that way and you go to sleep, or before you doze off, you're thinking positive thoughts, which that's a beautiful way to do it. And then the third thing, as you said, if you can work it in throughout your day too, great. But in that order is what I would say: morning first, and then if you can add another one at night, and then however often through the day you can just remind yourself or stop and pause and go, what's good about this right now? Yeah.
Like taking a breather, just to
Yeah. Oh yeah. Breathing and
just
quieting your mind. Yeah.
woo, all right. So I know you said 16 books. So I know your website is bobbakerinspiration.com.
Yes.
So tell them about that. Are all 16 books on there, or
No, so my first book came out in like the mid '90s, and early on, my books were since I'm a musician, and I was always fascinated with like promotion and building a career as a musician, and I was able to interview a lot of successful musicians over and creative people over the years. So my earliest books were on music marketing, and that was like my first identity on online. I was kind of a early adopter of the internet. I was using email and websites in the '90s. And I was kind of a little bit of a trailblazer in independent publishing, putting out my own books and selling them online way before that was a common thing to do. So in the 2000s, I was pretty well established as like a music marketing expert, I guess, for independent artists that were going that independent do-it-yourself route, and that was kind of my identity for a while. And I did a lot of cool things. I created an online course for Berklee College of Music in Boston, and I was on NPR and different media exposures when they came up with music topics. And then it shifted over the years, and I widened it. And then some of the books after that were more for creative people of all kinds, like Unleash the Artist Within and The Empowered Artist, or some of the titles in that. But then things shifted, and as I got older and the internet matured, there was a lot more competition, or just a lot of different voices on that music marketing topic. And plus, I was looking for something new, and so so my most recent book, the 16th one, is related to the YouTube channel, which is called The Power of Affirmations and Positive Self-Talk. And that, for sure, you can find that on the Bob Baker Inspiration. Yeah, the Bob Baker Inspiration is all for stuff related to the YouTube channel, that slice of my life, which is really the biggest. It's the most recent chapter, and the one I'm probably most proud of.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm gonna say, especially, the Turbo Challenge when I was earlier this year, and in what May, and it just so happened, my dad passed, and so I got to tell you, um, to be able to tap in during that period to your community was very helpful during that time to
Yeah.
have your affirmations. Uh, I'm grateful
Yeah,
to have
that's
had them.
what a huge
So
life change that was. I remember you sharing that with me.
yeah,
It was during that period, and so yeah, hopefully that being tapped into that community, and you were like, you gave me a great interview on your own health journey, which was part of that program that where we got to know each other. So I'm so
yeah.
happy that my stuff has helped you, though, Jen.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, you know, Mr. Baker is absolutely phenomenal. In the mornings, like literally, it's probably, sometimes it's not every single solitary morning like you try, but sometimes I might catch it later in the day when I need it. But for the most part, literally, I have been listening to you almost every single morning.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I catch it like later on. Sundays is church, so I don't I catch it a little bit later on and tap in. But you guys, I'm telling you, you find him on. So give him your YouTube, your Facebook, and any other platforms that you may be
Yeah.
on.
The main ones, yeah. So YouTube is a primary one. That's where I publish 2 or 3 new videos every week on different topics. So there's hundreds of them now, like five. Well, there's almost 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel, but only about half of those are the affirmations, because I was on YouTube 10 years before I even started the affirmation stuff. So there's
Oh,
things
okay.
related to my books and music and comedy and family stuff on there if you go deep in the archive.
Improv. You
Yeah.
do improv
Oh,
too, right?
improv comedy. Yeah, I teach that. I perform it. Yeah. And I do
Y'all,
musical improv too. So yeah, that's a great joy of mine. I love humor and laughter, and I love making stuff up.
so you guys,
Yeah.
if you want to get into acting, right? Because I'm an actress myself. If you want to get into, but you don't want to like learn lines and all that stuff, if improv is a great way, and that's a really good community too, where if you're going through some things and you feed off each other. So that's I think I've seen some of your videos, like you might have showed on a Sunday or
Yeah.
something from improv you did. That's a really great opportunity, you guys, to kind of segue if you don't want to do like the acting scene, improv is really
Yeah.
good.
And you don't
So
have to
make sure
even
you
want to
take
be like a
confidence.
performer because it intimidates a lot of people like to get up in front of people and make stuff up. But really, we're improvising our entire lives. You're always making stuff up, you know. But it's just a way. If you just are lacking some joy in your life or silliness, you know, as adults, we get away from that creativity and that spontaneity that we had as that carefree nature that we had as kids. And in an improv class, whether it's online or in person, because I do them both on Zoom and I do them in person in St. Louis. Yeah, it's just coming and being silly for a couple of hours, and it's therapeutic for a lot of people, you know. just that
Would you say it kind of builds confidence too for that person who may not
it,
be
it,
confident, comfortable being in front of people? Just say it kind of builds confidence because it
that's
kind
what
of pushes out
that's
their
definitely
comfort zone.
That's definitely one of the yeah, it's definitely one of the benefits. And it's also being like a lot of things that scare us in life is when we don't know we're not certain about things. So like you know, the uncertainty, oh my god, I want to pursue this thing but I don't know what to do. And you learn to trust yourself when you do
Mm.
improv. So improv is all about becoming comfortable with uncertainty.
Ooh,
You know, so I think even though you're doing this in silly games and scenes in the class, I think it can transfer into your life, you know, to where you become, hey, I'll figure it out as I go along. You
come
know?
on now. Okay, but the thing my dad said about me is you always figure it out. You figure it out. You always do. And we do, you guys. When you confident, and I tell, I'm a substitute teacher, and I tell the students, I say, are you confident about what you wrote down?
Mhm.
Are you sure? And if they say no, I say, let's go back over it. So that's for anything in life, being confident. I think confidence out of everything has got to be like one of the toughest things for anybody. It's
Yeah,
building that confidence and belief and trust in just themselves. It's like so much easier to trust and believe in somebody else before you do yourself. Like you got to get a first, second, third, 24th opinion
right,
about something you doing for you.
right.
Right? It's the craziest thing. But
Yeah, so
what's
it's
your
getting to that point where you're comfortable in your own skin, right?
yes, yes.
And that doesn't come overnight. It takes practice. So you know it took many years to develop the discomfort and the lack of confidence, and so it's going to take a little time, but it's doable. Yeah, you're not stuck with whatever that current mindset is. You know, you can calibrate it and improve it to your liking over time, but you have to commit to a daily practice of reminding yourself of the truth of who you are, which is you're perfect, you're whole, you're complete, you're amazing. You know.
Oh. Taker, would you mind? Look, I want to make sure they get all your stuff. And if you didn't mind closing us out with just a little taste of affirmation, because I think they can use it. I think, so Second Chance 21013 page is coming up on 10 years. 21013 is the actual date. February 10th, 2013, when I had a really bad car accident, and I had a choice whether I was just gonna let the accident take me down and say, "Oh, you can't do this," and everything stops. Or I did what I believe God wanted me to do, which was turn it into an opportunity to help other people say, "Hey, this is what happened, but this is what came out of it." So this page is to encourage, especially for my creators, my innovators who may be nervous, scared, and they're not sure, to help them build a confidence. Say, "Hey, no, you know what? I got this."
Mhm.
I whatever it is, that life changing moment, I survived, or I made it, or I overcame because I, I got this. Like for real. Like I look at, my dad would always say, look at everything you've been through. You've been doing it. You got it. So if at the end, which we
Sure.
coming up to the end, share. So I just want to make sure they got all your stuff, because you're on Spotify too. So I found you
Yeah.
on Spotify.
Yeah. You can look. So yeah, just go to YouTube when you're logged into your account and just search for Bob Baker Affirmations. You'll very quickly find my channel and then subscribe and start checking the stuff out there. And then bobbakerinspiration.com is the website with all of this stuff. And there's lots of links to different things that I do in this realm. And then on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Bob Baker Inspiration. So it's just my name and the word inspiration. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And
but
like I said, I found you on some things on Spotify too. So he's there, which this show, it does get posted on Spotify as well. So I'll make sure I see if I can link that in.
cool.
But I you guys, this is what he shared with us. Hopefully, if any of these things that he's done, he does say he teaches the music and the improv, so that's
Mhm.
something that you can tap into him with, and hopefully at the end of the show he can go in just to make sure and just post his links in the comments for me. Because I definitely want you to be able to fully benefit and touch some people, different audience and everything like that. But if you don't mind just giving us a little bit of affirmations.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my affirmation skills and combine them with improv because this is unscripted or unplanned. So I'm just gonna so I will so I invite you just to take a deep breath here. Take a deep breath. Just quiet your mind a little bit, but breathe in. Breathe in. Just kind of get centered, get balanced here. Just open yourself up for these phrases. Normally, I would leave a lot of space for you to repeat the affirmation back to yourself. I'll do that a little bit, but just in the interest of time here, I might just kind of there may not be quite enough
That's,
time to repeat them. I'm just going to give you. I'm just going to ask myself what I think people need to hear
yes.
right now. So that here we go. Life is good. Life is good, and I am grateful. Today, I look for and appreciate the good. Today, I look for opportunities to thrive. Today, I do my best to be an authentic expression of who I am. Mm. Today, I activate my full potential. Today, I tap into an inner knowing that I am perfect, whole, and complete, just as I am. Mm. Today, I look for opportunities to use my talents to help others. Today, I look for examples of people doing good in the world. Mm. Today, I tap into and I recognize and I reflect the abundant nature of the universe. Today, I look for signs of prosperity all around me.
Mm.
Today, I look for examples of love all around me. Today, I look for examples of connection all around me. Yes, today is a really good day.
Today is a really good day.
How's
Yes.
that work for you?
Yes, thank you. And that's something you left a little bit of space where they on their own can do repeat it. And you can always repeat it in your head too, you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you. That's a little snippet, you guys, but you gotta go to his YouTube page. It's so many videos. I promise you, it's something in there. And he has playlists. So sometimes, like in the morning getting dressed, I just let the playlist go. Just let it
Yeah.
go. So you'll find something in doing that that works for you, and you'll find you a couple of favorites like I have. So thank you. I'm so happy and grateful you were able to come on and just share something with you. You have no idea how many people they have no idea what affirmations or journaling or positive self-talk. Like I found out as an adult, later on in life. I wish I had found out about it in my teens or early 20s, right? But
Yeah.
better late than never, as my dad would say. So thank you again,
Absolutely.
Mr. Baker. I appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to see more videos pop up on I get the notifications. Oh, it's on. Okay,
Oh,
all
good.
right.
Thank you, Jen, and I just want to congratulate you in the work that you're doing, also to spread joy and inspiration with the with your audience. And so I applaud you as well. It's an honor to be your guest.
Thank you, Mr. Baker, and you have a great rest of your night. Tell Pookie. So Pookie is also a part of it. So if y'all on a Sunday you see somebody named Pookie, okay,
Pookie Wings,
no,
my
she is
significant other.
absolutely awesome.
She's full of energy, full of
Yes,
love.
my song. Look, the song that y'all heard me put on the on the promo was I am responsible. Okay, that's their song together, and I love it. So y'all make sure y'all look it up on YouTube too. So thank you, Mr. Baker, and you have an amazing rest of your night. And congratulations on everything you're doing. And now you know the rest of your journey is gonna be absolutely abundant and overflowing and helping thousands and thousands of more people. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You guys, oh, that was good. Okay. So you got a glimpse of, and let me tell you something. So to have a coach or mentor, you don't necessarily have to ever like. So I know one person that Mr. Baker, Mr. Bob Baker, sometimes references it's Mr. Bob Proctor, the late Bob Proctor. I never met Mr. Proctor. I never had a conversation, but I consider him my mentor or coach. Okay, and I kind of look at Mr. Baker a little bit the same way because he's been very helpful, influential in my life. He didn't know it until this year, right? But you guys, online, you can find literally a lot of what you need if you don't have that type of person or community right there with you. So he has the Turbocharge Your Life community going and you can join that. So make sure just find him on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll find what you need, you guys. But tune in, tap into that self love journal. You know, I have the my journal, love yourself journal, self love journal. He has different things when you join his turbocharge. He gives you you can download them. I don't want to get too much. You just gotta go over there and get it. Okay, you gotta go over there and get it. So thank you guys for tuning in, tapping in. Make sure you go to Spotify, you guys, and listen to the shows. Follow, leave a review. Okay, hit the YouTube channel, which is Jinlo Inspires. You'll see the uploads of the show on there, you guys. Make sure you come right here, leave us something in the comments just to let you know if you found that anything has helped you. Please leave a review, leave a little comments, what's happened with you. Also, I'm looking for more people, you guys, the creators, the innovators. Okay, this was a great show. So, if that's you, you got something coming out, maybe some music, album, maybe your artist, whatever that may be. I'm looking for you. Okay, because remember, okay, it's not a testimony of left untold. So he shared a little bit of his testimony through what he's been able to accomplish and do. I need you to do the same thing, okay? Because we're changing lives one testimony at a time, okay? That's it for tonight, you guys. I'm out.
She got a big mic and know how to use it. She got a big mic and know how to use it. She got a big mic and know how to use it. She got a big mic and know how to use it.
Yeah.